welcome back to my channel once again. So today's tutorial is going to be on the trendy flounce sleeve attached to the basic long sleeve on the screen. So we need our basic long sleeve, as you can see. So I have my basic long sleeve, which I've used to cut out. Okay, this is a long sleeve, but if you look at it, you can see I cut it out at a little above 3/4. Okay, so I'll be using this long sleeve right now to show you how to sew in that flounce. So if you look at this line, so I've already cut out the sleeve. Okay, so once you cut out the sleeve from your basic sleeve, the next thing you want to do is to mark out the grain line. Okay, so this is my grain line. For tutorial purpose, I'm using a marker to do this, but you're expected to use your chalk. Okay, your tailor's chalk to do what I'm doing right here. So this point is the grain line, and I'm going to measure what I have as my bicep, because that is where we are going to sew that sleeve. So my bicep falls at 8, but I'll have to do that at 8.5. Okay, so I just want the sleeve to start exactly at the bicep. So once that is done, I'll come in from that bicep at 3 inches and make a mark. I'll also come in at 3 inches and make a mark. Okay, now from this point I'll come down again. I'll be making a mark at 3.5. so at this point I'm going to sew this sleeve. Okay, I'll be sewing this sleeve from this point, the flounce, and I'll make a shape, an M shape like this, and I return. Alright, so coming over to the hem from the grain line, that is why you need to mark out the grain line, because if you want that flounce to be equal, everything will be coming from the grain line. So from the grain line, I'll mark another 3 inches, and from this part I'll mark another 3 inches. From the center line, I'll mark another 3 inches, and from the center line. So what I'm trying to do is to draw out the line of my flounce. So the flounce is going to run like this, and it will come up to this point. This is exactly what you are going to do on your chalk line. Okay, so just make an M shape like this from this point of 3.5. that is 3.5. you just draw out an M shape. We are going to sew our flounce on this. So when we are sewing all the way from here, and I will follow this line, and that is where this is. So once we close up this flounce, this is what we are going to have. Okay, this sleeve. Alright, so if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this each week. Like this video, share to family and friends. Drop your comments on the comment section below, and your suggestions as well. So we are done marking out where we are going to stitch our flounce. Okay, so this is exactly where our flounce is going to be stitched. So the next thing now is to cut out the flounce. So right here, I've already marked out my flounce, as you can see, and I have my stay on it as well. So if you look at what I have right here, okay, this is a full spiral flounce. I have a detailed video on how to make this flounce in case you are finding it confusing. Okay, so I have a video. I'll be dropping the link on the description box below, so you watch how you can make exactly what I did right here. Okay, so I've already marked out the flounce, and then the next thing I did is to hair stay one part of it. So one part of it is hair stayed, and this other part is not. Is going to serve as the lining. So I'm going to secure my flounce with my pins, and I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to cut out this flounce right now. So once I cut it out, I'll pin it up, then go to the sewing machine, reshape it, and go to the sewing machine to sew my crinoline to it. Right, so now I'm done cutting out the flounce. Okay, so this part I'm taking it away, we don't need it. So this is all I have for the flounce. Okay, so make sure you pin the flounces, okay, because we are going to sew it on the sewing machine right now. So I will bring back my sleeve where I'm going to sew this flounce to. Okay, so this flounce, we are going to sew it on this. We are sewing it on this line from here to here, and it will return back to this point. So we need to take the measurements of what we have from here to here. So here you can see the measurement of what I have is what I'm taking right away. You can see how I'm taking it, and on this point I return. Here I have 36. So first of all, I have 36 inches. So from this part of the flounce, I'll be measuring 36 inside the inner curve of this flounce. Okay, so but before I measure the 36, I'll be reshaping my flounce. Okay, so I'll be reshaping my flounce. So the shape you see on that sleeve is something like this, as you can see. So I've reshaped my flounce. So I'll just cut the reshaped flounce, and that is exactly how we are going to sew our crinoline on it and sew on the sewing machine. All right, flounce is reshaped right now. So this part I reshaped, I'm going to sew it exactly like this. Okay, and it goes into this. So now I have 36, so I want to measure 36 inches of this flounce. So the 36 inches now, I'll start from here. I'll make it 37 because of sewing allowance. Can you see? So I'm measuring the inner flounce. I'm taking the measurement of the inner flounce. So once I get to 36, I will stop. So I've gotten to 36 right now. I'm going to stop at 36. So like I said, I'm cutting at 37. So I'll just make a mark at 38. Okay, I'll just make a mark at 38. So to reshape my flounce, so I'll reshape my flounce. So another thing you can do to get your flounce reshaped equally is to put it together. Put this part you've already reshaped together and match it up with what you have here. Can you see? Can you see that? So I've matched it up. So once I match it up, I'll secure it with my pin. Then I've gotten exactly the shape of the flounce for both of them. All right, so that is it. Okay, so the rest of the flounce, we are no longer making use of it. So I'll be going to the machine now to sew this flounce. So this is what I have exactly, and that is what I expect you to have as well, if you follow this tutorial the way it's being taught. So I'm going to sew my crinoline right now. I also have a detailed video on how to sew your crinoline perfectly on your flare or on your flounces. So I'm using 2 inches crinoline right here. I'll go to the machine and I'll place my crinoline, sew and turn it around, give it a good press, then come back to show you how you stitch this to the sleeve. All right people, so now I'm done ironing, and I've sewn my crinoline and turned it around. So you can see the crinoline right here, and I've turned it around. Okay, I top stitched and gave it a good press. So like I said, I have a detailed video on how to sew your crinoline. You can visit the link and learn how to do this. So now it's time for us to sew this. So the pattern we are going to sew this is after hemming this part. So I'm assuming the selvage is already hemmed. Okay, this is a tutorial to show you how to do this. So but if you are doing that, make sure you have hemmed the hem of your sleeve. Okay, so now I'm going to sew this following what I have in here. Can you see? So you can see it's already giving us the shape already. Can you see that? So I'm going to sew it into that space, but I don't want to sew on top. I don't want to sew it on top. I want to open up what I have here. Okay, so before I open it up, I'm going to make my notch. I'm making notches. You can see how I'm making my notches, because once I take off this part, it's going to be difficult. So another thing I want to advise is what I did here can be done on the pattern and cut out and add your seam allowances, but I'm doing this because this is a tutorial. I don't want to go to the long process of trying to sew, trying to cut the pattern and start adding seam allowances. Okay, so if you are doing this, please do this on pattern so you'll be able to add your seam allowances. So assuming what I'm cutting off now is my pepper, that is my pattern, I'll be placing it on fabric and add 0.5 inch seam allowance, so I'll be able to stitch this flounce. Okay, so you can see the notches right here, the notches, so I'm going to match them up accordingly. So I'll take this one away and I'm going to match up this. So I'm going to secure this with my pin. Okay, I'll secure this with my pin first. So once I am done pinning all around, I'll bring in this and place it on the notches accordingly, and I'll go into the machine and sew it accordingly. So I'll quickly pin this from the hem. Okay, so I'll keep pinning. In fact, I will pin and sew. Then when I return, I'll place this on top and follow the stitches I have and sew them back. So let me quickly do that. So I've gone to my sewing machine now. You can see I've already stitched on the shape I have for the first layer. So now I will go over back to the machine to sew the inner part of this sleeve. So I have my notches which I'm going to match up accordingly. So for this particular notch, I'm going to look for the notch I made. I think this is the notch here. Okay, I'm going to match this part to this part and I'll secure it with my pin. I'll match up the notch I made on this part. You can see this part to this part. So as I'm sewing, I'm matching up the notches. As I'm sewing, I'm matching up the notches. So I'll go into the machine right now and I'll place it like this and follow these stitches exactly. As I'm going, I'll be matching up the notches till I complete this process. So let me quickly do that right away. I've sewn the sleeve, as you can see. Okay, so now I have the sleeve sewn and stitched together, as you can see right here. So right now I'll be closing up the sleeves. I'll be sewing the size of the sleeves. Okay, so I will sew the size of the sleeve right now up to the point of the armhole. So once I sew this, I'll be back and then we'll put it on the dress form for you to see the final outlook. So for this rough part, you can You can overlock it, okay, you can serge it if you want, okay. Then if you are using a lining to it, you can as well turn it with your lining before you sew to the armhole, okay. So let me quickly close up the sides and show you what it looks on the dress form. All right, lovely people, so right now you can see we are done with the sleeve right now, okay. So you can see how beautiful this sleeve is looking. So all you need to do is to attach it on your bodies right away. So like I earlier said, you can make your pattern to get this accurately. You can also sew your flounce on top of your sleeve if you don't want to go through the stress of sewing this into the sleeve, okay. All right, so this is how we come to the end of this tutorial. If you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this each week. Like this video, share to family and friends, drop your comments on the comment section below and your suggestions as well. All right, thank you very much for coming to this tutorial. See you in my next video. Bye.